वजूद जो तू चाहती
एक ही वे हो जाता एक पल तोला एक पल मासा
Isolation for immigrant women is a real problem because first of all, when they come here, if they don't have the language, they don't have the the network, the social network of family or friends that one can even talk to, and third, the association of police is so bad generally at home that you don't even think that you're going to call the cop if something happens. So, and let's say that you get to that point, thought of going to court and testifying against your husband and your family is so shameful, because it's not only is an anathema, because of sociological problems, but also it's not in the Indian culture to actually put down your family. So a woman really keeps quiet generally. So even if she gets to court, it's going to be really tough. And then the next step, if she goes to a shelter, she's just terrified. This is all that I found out in my research, that are her children, if she has any, that she's taken to the shelter, are they going to be fed beef? So it's little things that are so, that the country, let me talk about Canada, is so unaware of. Domestic violence knows no color, knows no geographic boundaries, knows no class. But there's no question in my mind that the social services that are available, whether it's in England or whether it's in the United States or whether it's in Canada or whether it's in Australia, for immigrant women are next to zero.
So what can be done to help them?
An awareness that we have to, it's all about policy change, and policy change can just not, appear out of the stratosphere. You have to deal with it. Awareness. So when you're aware that this is the problem, let's say that Bachan goes through, she even dial 911 or the police is an anathema to her, to not get the wages that she's working for is devastating. But if we are aware that this is what women have to go through, we will actually talk about it and demand a policy change. I mean, I demand it. I say, get your police officers to be representative of the cultures that they go and see. So, in fact, every station in Canada should have a representative of the community.
And how about, she befriends a Jamaican lady?
Yeah.
It shows me that some form of integration is in
Yeah.
order. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I made her a Jamaican, because that's something that's very good about Canada, is that it really is a multicultural country.
Particularly curious about the 35mm camera that you used for the black and white shoots on your recent film of Heaven on Earth. Is there a particular reason for that choice?
Yes. When I wrote the script, and I was sitting, with my cinematographer, Charles Nutkins, who's actually British, there were scenes that that dealt with a very important theme of Heaven on Earth, which is the theme of isolation. Specifically the isolation that new immigrants feel when they come, whether to England or anywhere, Australia, Canada. And I was wondering if there was, and I was sort of wondering out aloud at that point, was there a physical way that I could show it, instead of just them talking about it? Could I show it cinematically? And thought about shooting those scenes in black and white. I mean, literally a metaphor for when life is sort of bleached of all colors. It becomes so desolate.
Your Salman Rushdie film. Tell me why you chose that film to do next.
Well, I love the book. I love Midnight's Children, and what attracts me, yes, of course, to the book is its enormous scope and how broad it is, and Salman's beautiful language and his vision, but also because it's through a young man you really see the history of India unfolding. I mean, I think for me, Midnight's Children is sort of the most important historical novel ever written, and that's what fascinates me.
So do you feel that At the moment, a lot of movies like Slumdog Millionaire are taking success, in the international scene. Do you feel a lot more Indian women will be portrayed in a realistic way across the international kind of filmic world?
I think that Slumdog Millionaire is not an Indian film. It's done, the director is a Britisher, the scriptwriter is a white man. It's a white film. The only thing that's Indian in the film is Rahman's music.
So do you feel that we as Indian people will end up doing international things?
I think we already are. Yeah, we should, it's great that what Slumdog's done, which is great. The one thing that's wonderful about it is that it's actually done cinema in Hindi, Marathi and English. And the wider public has accepted that. And that's great. That means we will never hesitate to do the films, whether it's in Cantonese or Mandarin or Chinese, Chinese, whatever, Hakka or Punjabi or Hindi or Marathi or Goanese, it doesn't matter. So the studios that were really hesitant of having any other language except English, and that's why you had all these strange films about India, where people would speak in these heavy Oxford accents, which is just absurd. That's going to stop, and that's wonderful. So I have to give it credit for what it is. But let's not confuse that Slumdog Millionaire is an Indian film. It's not, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good.
You can hear him sing.
Well, it is lovely to meet you, Deepa, and thank you so much for coming to Tongues on Fire.
No, it's a real pleasure being here because, I've always wanted to come here for Tongues of Fire, and I never could get it together. So this time when Pushpinda called me and she said, you must try and come, I said, I have to make an effort, and I'm so happy to be here.
What do you think of Tongues of Fire and what you're doing?
I think that what you've been doing, have been doing, is you were real pioneers in bringing the voice of the Asian woman to the forefront, and that's totally admirable. And I'm really proud to be associated with it.